Oh, boxing IQ. He's a very good fighter. He's stronger. He's very compact. He is like a bull, you know. He's a smart guy.
Well, Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have a problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power.
But could possibly be the end for him because Bud has what it takes. I'm not saying Bud will win, but I'm just saying he has what it takes. He's not afraid of Canelo.
Gennady Golovkin has dropped a shocking prediction ahead of the Canelo-Alvarez versus Terence Crawford clash. According to GGG, Crawford won't have trouble handling Canelo's power because, in his view, Canelo doesn't actually carry true knockout strength. Having shared the ring with Canelo 3 times, Golovkin insists the Mexican superstar hasn't evolved much over the years. Instead, he praises Crawford's punching power, versatility, and ability to adapt, while reminding fans that every fight presents new challenges that demand intelligent preparation.
This is boxing. This is more interesting.
Gennady, let me ask you this. You were there ringside. You saw Canelo. Did he look better than what he did in the second fight with you? Does he look like he's improving and getting better?
Marcus, I told you just, every opponent give you different. Every fight is different. Two fights I had, 2 fights with him. First fight and second fight is different. Just.
So you
Like,
think
no, I don't feel like more power, more speed. No, he stayed the same.
Gennady Golovkin has spent a grueling 36 rounds in a ring with Canelo Alvarez, giving his opinion a level of credibility few can match. From his perspective, Canelo's offense is built more on flurries of combinations and flashy knockout attempts than on genuine one-punch power capable of breaking down an elite fighter. Golovkin insists this isn't casual commentary, but hard-earned insight from direct combat. He's taken Canelo's best shots and remains convinced they lack the natural force often attributed to the Mexican star. His assessment challenges the widely held belief that Canelo is a devastating puncher, instead painting him as a fighter who depends more on timing, accuracy, and volume rather than raw knockout strength.
Golovkin weighs in as everybody's trying to gauge how this fight is going to play out. They anticipate this fight. They want to know how this fight is going to play out. And Gennady Golovkin gives his 2 cents. As his trainer, Abel has been on social media doing multiple interviews and stating that Terence Crawford is simply too small and he's going to lose, right? And Gennady Golovkin, as Abel Sanchez is saying, that he's going to get knocked out, right? Because it's too much power. Well, Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have a problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power. He said, I fought Canelo at 160 and at 68, and I could say he has fast punches, he has fast combinations, but I wouldn't say there were a lot of power there, or power punches, or knockout punches. You saw that. You saw this clean shots that I took, and he brought, and there were no results. End quote. So Gennady Golovkin is saying, he hit me with clean shots. You saw him hit me with clean shots. And the results was, I didn't go anywhere. Now, I know people will say, well, Gennady Golovkin is naturally bigger than Canelo.
While Gennady Golovkin's former trainer has dismissed Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, Golovkin himself sees things differently. He acknowledges Crawford's razor-sharp skills, adaptability, and high-level ring IQ, qualities he believes could create serious problems for Canelo. In Golovkin's view, this matchup may be far more competitive than many experts are predicting.
Many still see this as a one-sided beatdown in favor of Canelo Alvarez. Former Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez, who's been very critical as of lately, and said that Canelo will just play with Terence Crawford, and by the second half, it'll just be like a sparring session. Sanchez said that Canelo will not only dictate the pace throughout the evening. If Triple G himself couldn't even hurt Canelo, then Crawford's chances are definitely not that great. Sanchez said, quote, "Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why weight divisions exist. Neither Bivol could hurt him, nor could my fighter in 2 fights." Triple G's former trainer has also repeatedly emphasized that Crawford should have moved up in weight class a long time ago, and that his jump should have been more gradual and steady, and suggested that skipping divisions will definitely play a role in him potentially losing badly to Canelo Alvarez.
Golovkin's epic trilogy with Canelo Alvarez remains one of the most talked about rivalries in modern boxing, and the fact that he still questions Canelo's supposed punching power after all those rounds speaks volumes. His words carry weight because they come from a man who has absorbed Canelo's best shots time and time again. So when Golovkin claims Crawford has the tools to withstand Canelo's offense, it instantly makes headlines across the boxing world. Fans and analysts latch onto his comments because they challenge the mainstream image of Canelo as a ruthless finisher. In doing so, Golovkin reignites the debate over whether Canelo's fearsome reputation is the product of raw performance or carefully built marketing.
Boxing Doctor News. Hey boxing fans, remember the epic Golovkin-Canelo trilogy? Well, get this. GGG once spilled the tea on Canelo's punching power, and it's not what you'd expect. Picture this. 2 legends, 3 fights, and a whole lot of controversy. GGG said Canelo's punches were fast, but not knockout material. Can you believe it? He claimed those clean shots brought no results. Now, fast forward to today. GGG's been out of the ring since their last bout, but rumors are swirling about a comeback. Meanwhile, Canelo's gearing up for a massive showdown with Terence Crawford. The big question is, will Canelo prove GGG wrong and land that knockout punch? It's been a while since his last stoppage. The boxing world is buzzing, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
Training camp reports have only intensified the buzz around this blockbuster showdown. According to Showbiz The Adult, Canelo Alvarez has taken a cautious approach in sparring with Jaron "Boots" Ennis, holding back, avoiding risks, and conserving himself for fight night. While some view this as a calculated strategy, others whisper that it may signal uncertainty in his preparation. More sensational claims even suggest that Canelo was dropped in the 3rd round by Boots, struggling with the younger fighter's blistering speed and power. Though unconfirmed, these rumors have set the boxing world ablaze, fueling debates among fans and analysts alike. If Canelo is indeed showing cracks behind closed doors, it could be a troubling sign that his form is beginning to slip. For Terence Crawford, an expert at exploiting openings, such vulnerabilities may provide the exact opportunity he needs to seize control and flip the fight in his favor.
And let's talk about what we do know about Canelo Alvarez bringing Boots to training camp and what we can concur. First, you must understand that Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford September 13th. Okay, that's just a few weeks away, but almost 3 weeks away, something like that. It's just a few weeks away. So to expect them to have hardcore sparring, like real sparring, where they're fighting each other and they're really just going hard in sparring, pause, I don't really see that happening, because you don't want a cut or anything, and you don't want anything to threaten the fight September 13th. Also, not only is Canelo Alvarez fighting soon, September 13th, but Boots Ennis, he has to fight against Lima come October. So you don't want Canelo Alvarez beating up on Boots either and cutting him or anything like that, blackening his eye or detached retina or anything like that. You don't want any incidents like that. So understand that they're probably sparring light to mid. They're definitely not going hard in there. Okay, pause. So we have to really put it aside that either one, I don't think Canelo will be beating the hell out of Boots or Boots beating the hell out of Canelo. But what I can see is if Boots is moving around and Canelo can't catch him, like let's say Boots is like pop, piecing him up with some light work and Canelo can't get to him, which, you know, that's kind of different in a real fight. In a real fight, you know, Canelo will be breaking you down and then you kind of get tired over time. But still, if they're working on cutting off the ring, if Canelo can't and Boots is hitting him with, piecing him up and moving and slipping and sliding, and he just can't get to him, that'll be some value added and something to be concerned about. Which is why I said it's over.
Greg Hackett views the upcoming clash as more than just a high-stakes fight. He frames it as a potential changing of the guard. He acknowledges that Canelo Alvarez once stood atop the sport as the pound-for-pound king, but reminds fans that no reign lasts forever. Every legendary champion eventually encounters the rival who signals the decline of their dominance. And Hackett believes Terence Crawford could be that man. He highlights Crawford's technical mastery, discipline, and relentless hunger as the tools that could reshape boxing's landscape. For Hackett, this bout isn't only about titles and rankings. It's about timing, legacy, and the possibility of one great era giving way to the next.
Canelo is the guy, right? But everybody know that shit gotta come to an end one day. Nothing is forever. And I'm not saying this is now. I'm not saying that. But Bud could possibly be the end for him because Bud has what it takes. I'm not saying Bud will win, but I'm just saying he has what it takes. He's not afraid of Canelo. You know what I'm saying? 2, he has the skills to be able to deal with Canelo. Does he have the power? I don't know, but he is a puncher. He's a puncher because his record says so. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is a puncher as well. So what I see is a great respect for each other, but after 4 rounds, I see a war breaking out. And whoever can stand it, meaning whoever can take that shit that's coming their way, that's who wins the fight. You know
Man, I don't know if Bud wants that. I don't know if Bud wants a war with that dude.
Yeah, but
granted, he got a granted ass chin. But you saying he's a puncher because his record says so. So you gotta assume that you making the assumption that he can crack. Because Arrow said he can crack. That's when Arrow came out. Arrow, I think, said he thought, was getting Canelo. I don't know whether that's, him trying to pay him back for saying that, for what Terence said about him. This other fight, man, I got it into the title, man. And I appreciate you letting me pick your brain, man. Because I'm going to steal your predictions. And then I'm going to give you credit for it at the same time, dog. I ain't going to be like everybody else. I'm going to steal your shit and give you credit for it at the same time, dog. Devin, I'm starting to think, man, maybe Devin Haney's a little underrated, man. Going into this Brian Norman fight. Like, I've had my own personal issues with the dude and his pops, but that shit aside, the dude knows what he's doing in the boxing ring. He's been in there with a bunch of fights. He's a championship world-class level fighter, bro.
John Ryder offers a first-hand perspective from his own sparring sessions with Canelo Alvarez, recalling a grueling 12-round battle in the gym. For Ryder, the experience highlighted Canelo's remarkable work ethic and durability, qualities that explain why he has stayed at the sport's elite level for so long. He describes Canelo as steady, disciplined, and extremely difficult to wear down over extended stretches. That Ryder's testimony adds balance to the debate, reminding fans that even if some question the Mexican star's punching power, his overall skill set, conditioning, and wealth of experience still make him a formidable challenge for anyone willing to step into the ring with him.
Fight for him, wait for a big fight, and giving him, he had his hands full with you, and obviously there was triumph for you there, not just going the distance, but going the distance with severe injury as well, right?
Of course, yeah, and I think that I want to be a trainer where I can go to people, look, I don't want to tell them things, and they go, right, well, listen to him because he's been there, he's done it himself. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be telling them to run through walls and not having done it myself. Like, if you need to bite down and push through because you still got a shot in this game, then do it. And listen, I've stood there toe to toe with one of the greatest pound for pound fighters out there, nose broken in the second, and pushed him to the 12th and final round. But I know I can call on that in the future with fighters I train and just say, look, now you got to dig deep, now you got to pull through, and it's going to hurt today, but tomorrow's another day.
While Jaron Boots, Ennis has drawn headlines for sparring with Canelo Alvarez, he has also faced criticism. Some observers accuse him of holding back during sessions, or even participating for financial incentives rather than pushing Canelo to the limit. These allegations raise questions about the authenticity of what really happens behind closed doors in training camp. Such speculation carries weight because sparring stories often leak into the public, shaping how fans and analysts perceive a fighter's readiness. If Boots did, in fact, take it easy on Canelo, the narrative around his preparation could be misleading. But if he truly exposed flaws during those sessions, then Terence Crawford's camp may have gained invaluable insight heading into the fight.
Pathetic. Purely pathetic. Terence Crawford's team inflicting race in this situation in reference to Jerome Bruce Ennis training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez, Mexican superstar, Latino superstar, the 4-division world champion, super middleweight undisputed, because Jerome Bruce Ennis, a brother, is training with Canelo Alvarez and he's a sellout to his people? Really? This what Terence Crawford's team had to say in reference to Jerome Bruce Ennis, the former unified champion of the welterweight division, training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez.
He sold out. That's all I can say. He sold out now.
It's pathetic, man. Because he's a sellout because he's training with Canelo. Hey, yo, Bernie the Boxer and people that and Terence Crawford's members that feel this way. Do y'all feel the same way about Isaud? Yeah, the Latino trainer, the Guatemalan trainer that been training Terence Crawford since 14 years old. That's how y'all look at him? Y'all look at him like he's a sellout? Is he a sellout to Latinos because he trains Terence Crawford? Yo, for real, I never heard that in the sport of boxing, where a Latino trains with a black fighter and he's a sellout to Latinos. I never seen it. Why is this self-victimhood, this ingrained hate that some blacks have for Latinos?
Gareth A. Davies and Duke McKenzie emphasize just how significant this fight is in today's boxing landscape. At a time when many big names avoid high-risk matchups, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford stands out as a rare exception. The bout unites two of the sport's most skilled and celebrated fighters in a showdown fans have been demanding for years. For Davies and McKenzie, this isn't simply another date on the boxing calendar. It's a defining clash where greatness collides with greatness. They stress that fights like this are rare, once-in-a-generation moments where history is written in real time and legacies are either cemented or shattered.
Great, marvelous Marvin Hagler became a friend in life and was an amazing man.
An
amazing character. I've likened this fight to those two when they met, with one going up in weight, quite a big step.
Okay.
I mentioned it to the two guys when I saw them in Riyadh last week as well. First of all, I was backing Terence Crawford to win this on points, with his skills to pay the bills and his speed and his timing and his spitefulness and the fact that he's raising his game. When we see here as well, by the way, the pushing and shoving in New York in the earlier press conference, I think he's poked the bear a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Canelo's very dangerous. And I think Canelo might win this.
My money's on Crawford. My money's clearly on Crawford. I mean, there's so many different ways of looking at this fight, but I really believe.
Do you like it?
It's the best fight in world boxing by none. At any weight division,
because of the stylistic matchup, because of the raise in levels, and because of the weight differential.
Yeah, and because we're looking at two of the best undisputed modern day boxers that have ever lived, in my opinion, modern day boxers that have lived. In this current generation that we're in now, you're not going to get two better fighters fighting at this time in their careers.
Jaron Boots. Ennis hasn't held back when sharing his perspective on Terence Crawford's bold move. He cautions that jumping straight into a showdown with a naturally bigger fighter like Canelo Alvarez, without first taking a tune-up at the new weight, could prove to be a risky gamble. Ennis stresses that size and strength advantages are very real, and history shows that gradually adjusting to a heavier division is often the wiser route. His comments inject a note of caution into the build-up, reminding fans and analysts alike that while Crawford's skills are world-class, he is still venturing in uncharted territory against an opponent who has long been comfortable at the higher weight.
Well, I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo because, like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Jarrell Miller brings a fighter's perspective filled with encouragement for Terence Crawford. He praises Crawford's hunger and determination, arguing that these qualities can be decisive even when facing a naturally bigger opponent like Canelo Alvarez. Miller downplays the obsession with size differences, insisting that in the biggest fights, mental strength and sheer willpower often matter more than physical attributes. That he points out that Crawford's relentless drive to succeed could outweigh any disadvantages he faces in moving up. Miller's take injects a sense of optimism into the debate, reinforcing that many within the boxing world still see Crawford as fully capable of delivering a career-defining victory.
Crawford, huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though. But I like both guys, but I'm a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
And lastly, quick mention on IBA Pro. Interesting concept that people records on the line. So I know in boxing, people don't like risking their own and things. Do you feel like this is a step forwards? This could become a major player in boxing?
I think it definitely can. I mean, any opportunity to make some money and build your repertoire and your arsenal.
Analysts stress that Terence Crawford's game plan will ultimately determine the outcome of this fight. This isn't just about trading punches. It's about executing a disciplined strategy capable of neutralizing Canelo Alvarez's strengths. A victory over a champion of Canelo's caliber would catapult Crawford into the highest echelon of boxing history, silencing any lingering doubts about his legacy. To get there, Crawford must rely on intelligence, timing, and adaptability rather than sheer power. Patience, precision, and control will be the keys. If he can stay composed under pressure and capitalize on openings, the night may very well belong to him.
Understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford. So I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, he got to work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game.
That's it for today's video. What do you think about Gennady Golovkin's comments and all the debate surrounding Canelo versus Crawford? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more boxing updates.